You might think that professional chefs are willing to put just about anything on their plates, and indeed, most of them have pretty welcoming palates. But then there are just some foods that even the most adventurous chefs simply don't enjoy for one reason or another. One of the most famous celebrity chefs had one of the most widespread food aversions. That's right, Julia Child could not abide cilantro. The fact that this opinion is so common partly comes down to genetics. According to a genetic survey from researchers at Cornell, a distaste for cilantro has to do with the presence of the gene OR6A2. The gene is related to aldehyde chemicals, which are also found in soap, which is why some people who don't like cilantro claim that it tastes soapy. Child spent much of her career living in France, where it would have been unlikely for her to come across cilantro, which is far more common in Mexican or Indian cuisines. But she also had an aversion to arugula, a peppery salad leaf that she would have been far more likely to come across in her travels in France or neighboring Italy. As she told Larry King in a 2002 interview, she would never order it. As she admitted, "I would pick it out if I saw it and throw it on the floor." But aside from these two greens, Child had a rather adventurous palate. As she told King, "If it's properly cooked and properly served, I can't think of anything I hate." Ina Garten has quite a bit in common with Julia Child. They're both Francophile cooks who had very successful non-food-related careers before turning to the kitchen. Child developed shark repellent for the agency that would become the CIA, while Garten was a budget analyst for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Furthermore, both ladies have absolutely adorable and adoring husbands to spoil with their rich, buttery cooking. And both of them hate cilantro. As Garten told Time magazine in 2017, "I just won't go near it." And that's not the only thing Garten won't eat, as she also noted, "I'm not big on things with eyeballs and foam." That sounds all well and good, because unless you're buying whole fish or dining in a Michelin-starred restaurant, it's unlikely you'll come across eyeballs in your meal. But there is one common food item that this cook, who's so famous for telling people that store-bought is fine, cannot abide: pre-grated Parmesan cheese. And honestly, she has a point. Not only is it highly suspicious when a dairy product is shelf-stable, but the FDA found in 2016 that some brands of Shaker cheese were cutting the product with cellulose, also known as sawdust. Woodsy aromas in wine are one thing, but when it comes to actual wood in your cheese, we'll have to pass.
Are they made of wood?
One of the United States' favorite sandwich fillings is a bit more divisive abroad. Indeed, peanut butter confuses the heck out of most non-Americans, which is clear enough during a cursory glance on Twitter. As one person tweeted in 2019, "Americans? You mean the people who think a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is an acceptable thing to eat for a meal?" Meanwhile, another went so far as to posit, "Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are proof all Americans have brain worms." One foreigner who really can't stand peanut butter is Austrian super chef Wolfgang Puck. Despite living in the US since the 70s, he's never gotten on board with this nostalgic American classic, as he explained to the Daily Meal in 2013. "I don't eat peanut butter. I don't know why I have no taste for peanut butter, but we have Nutella, which is a chocolate hazelnut paste. Nutella is far sweeter and more of a dessert than a sandwich spread, so it's not hard to see where Puck is coming from." Sometimes a food trend takes on a life of its own. Such is the case with cauliflower rice, which began its rise to fame in the wake of a surplus of low-carb diets. Fast forward a few years into this trend, and bags of these pellets have made their way into the likes of Trader Joe's. But for Italian-American celebrity chef Giada de Laurentiis, this is a very unwelcome addition to the culinary scene. During a 2021 appearance on the Milk Street Radio podcast, she chatted about her new book, while also taking a moment to focus on cauliflower. As she writes in her book, it's having its, quote, Hollywood moment thanks to its neutral flavor. While cauliflower is indeed versatile and De Laurentiis celebrates it for being something plain enough that kids will eat, she isn't a fan of its riced form. As she explained, "Right now, cauliflower rice is having its heyday. I wish it would go away soon because it's gross to me." She then made her feelings unmistakably clear as she insisted, "I hate it. I don't like cauliflower rice, okay? Leave me alone." Rachael Ray is nothing if not approachable in her style and palate, as she leans into shortcuts like pre-shredded cheese to help dinner get on the table fast. But despite her gregarious personality and humble attitude, there are a few things she just can't stand. One that most of her fans already know about is mayonnaise. As she declared to People magazine, "Shelf-stable mayonnaise creeps me out. I will make an aioli myself, and I love aquafaba because it's chickpea-based. But it's something about knowing that there's eggs in mayonnaise and that it's sitting on a hot shelf for months and months. It makes me want to retch."
So I have a fear of mayonnaise.
It's not a judgment, it's just a fear.
It's not
right?
a judgment.
While Ray's hatred of mayo has been common knowledge for a while now, it wasn't until recently that she revealed her dislike of cooked salmon, an aversion that she shares with her husband John. She likes raw salmon, but the cooked version just isn't her bag. It's not quite as bad as her loathing of mayonnaise, but it's still significant nonetheless. Enough so that we sure won't be serving her any grilled salmon if she ever comes around our place for dinner. Durian is a divisive food with a pungent aroma that even led Singapore's public transit authorities to forbid the fruit from subways and buses. Foodies, from 17th century missionary Jacques de Bourges to New York Times journalist Thomas Fuller, have waxed poetic about this South Asian fruit, which hides a creamy, textured treat beneath a spiky exterior. As Fuller put it, "You'll experience overtones of hazelnut, apricot, caramelized banana, and egg custard." He also proclaimed, "There is no other fruit like it." But for others, that uniqueness isn't exactly a positive. Late foodie Anthony Bourdain reportedly once said that after eating durian, your breath will smell as if you'd been French kissing your dead grandmother. And Food Network star Chef Bobby Flay isn't a fan either. As he told People magazine, "It's awful. I don't want to be around it." On diners, drive-ins, and dives, Guy Fieri seems to like pretty much everything he sinks his teeth into. From crocodile burgers to a 3-pepper hot sauce so spicy it could cook raw chicken. In fact, he has a policy of keeping things he doesn't like to himself. As he explained to The Hollywood Reporter, "If I don't like the food, you won't see it on my shows." But there's one particular food that this spiky-haired chef really can't stand, and that would be eggs. Although this wasn't always the case. He, in fact, used to love eggs, and as he confessed in an interview with Extra Crispy, a fried egg sandwich with processed cheese on white bread when I would go to my friend's house was the greatest thing in the world. But then, at around the age of 10, he had a revelation. As he put it, "I came to a very clear understanding of how chickens grow when we opened the egg." As Fieri recalled, the shell cracked to reveal not a blood spot, but an entire chicken. But this actually wasn't the experience that made him swear off eggs. As he explained, "That didn't really freak me out. You know what it was? It's that I had a bad, hard-boiled egg. It was the chalky yolk." Considering this backstory, it remains pretty clear that you probably won't see any boiled eggs on diners, drive-ins, and dives anytime soon. In a world where toxic chefs are being exposed seemingly all the time, Emeril Lagasse still seems like a genuinely good guy. As he noted in a 2011 interview with Grub Street, "There's enough drama in the real world. I really stay out of it in the food world. I find it to be a huge waste of time. There's no room for that kind of nonsense in my life. If I'm confronted with negativity, all I can think is, you can't be everything to everybody." It's perhaps no surprise then that if Lagasse has nothing bad to say about any person, then he has nothing bad to say about any food either. And that's true for the most part. He told Grub Street that he doesn't consider himself a food snob, as he noted, "I can go to any regular restaurant and find good about it." However, he does draw the line somewhere, as he admitted, "My children will never, ever eat at fast food restaurants. It's strictly not allowed." Nigella Lawson is the textbook definition of low-key when it comes to cooking. The domestic goddess is known for taking viewers along as she seeks a sweet midnight snack while wearing pajamas, and for demonstrating non-traditional cooking methods. She even proudly leans on a much-maligned kitchen tool despite her bizarre pronunciation.
But I still need a bit of milk, full fat, which I've warmed in the microwave.
Lawson's lack of pretension is perhaps what has led to her aversion to a particular kitchen tool, the ramekin. Maybe she thinks it's too fussy, or maybe, as she's indicated on Twitter, she just doesn't like the way the word sounds. But to her credit, her issue isn't so great that she can't clamor for a chocolate chip cookie dough pot. And honestly, we get it. They look awesome. Maybe she'd be okay with mixing up a microwave chocolate mug cake in a ramekin as well. Gordon Ramsay has long been known for his hot-headedness. Indeed, he's made a whole career out of it. So it was really no surprise when he didn't hold back regarding plant-based diets. When someone asked him on Twitter in 2016 if he was allergic to anything, he quipped, "Vegans." And it turns out that he's got a history of not exactly being friendly to vegetarians. As he once said, "If one of my daughter's boyfriends turns out to be vegetarian, I swear to God, I'd never forgive them." Ramsay has also joked about what he would do if one of his own children adopted the diet. As he put it, "My biggest nightmare would be if the kids ever came up to me and said, 'Dad, I'm a vegetarian.' Then I would sit them on the fence and electrocute them." But Ramsay has been eating his words lately. He's rolled out vegan items at his own restaurants, and he even told TikTok that he was, quote, "turning vegan." And when Piers Morgan had the audacity to critique the vegan roast at Ramsay's London-based Bread Street kitchen, the chef pulled no punches.
So Piers Morgan is now a food critic?
Yeah, sure.
Go and yourself. Seriously, really?
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite chefs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.